The courtroom was a pressure cooker, packed to the rafters long before the judge even walked in. Every seat was taken, mostly by reporters. The air crackled with anticipation, the relentless clicking of cameras providing a soundtrack to the tension. Everyone, from the media to the legal eagles, was holding their breath for one reason: the bail decision for music mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs. At the defense table sat Diddy himself, hands folded neatly, jaw clenched tight. This was a man who, for decades, had been the very definition of glamour, success, and untouchable confidence. But today, he looked tired. His eyes were dim, his shoulders seemed to carry a weight far heavier than his tailored suit. Yet, even in that moment of vulnerability, he held himself with a deliberate stillness, refusing to betray any sign of fear. It was a study in controlled composure. Standing across from him was the prosecutor, Alina Carter, armed with a formidable stack of files. When she spoke, her voice was calm, but every word was a precision strike. "Your Honor," she began, addressing the judge, "granting bail to Mr. Combs poses a clear and present risk. We have reason to believe there is a significant possibility of witness tampering." She paused, letting the weight of her words sink in. "Several individuals connected to this case have already come forward, reporting unwanted contact from people associated with him. Therefore, the state requests no bail." A wave of murmurs rippled through the gallery. The statement hung in the air, thick and heavy. Diddy's attorney, Marcus Hale, was on his feet in an instant, too. His tone was urgent, but respectful. "Your Honor, my client is not a flight risk. He has built his entire life, his career, and his legacy right here in this country. He is prepared to surrender his passport, to remain under house arrest, and to comply with any and all conditions the court deems necessary. To deny him bail would be an extreme and unwarranted measure." The judge, a man named Harrison, listened to both sides without a flicker of expression. His face was a stoic mask, impossible to read. While this drama unfolded inside, a different kind of chaos reigned outside the courthouse. Crowds of supporters and critics were gathered behind metal barricades, a sea of faces and signs. News vans from every major network lined the street, their satellite dishes pointed to the sky. Reporters conducted live interviews, rumors flew like sparks, and arguments broke out among the onlookers. Everyone, it seemed, had a deeply entrenched opinion. Back inside, the silence returned, thicker than before. Judge Harrison cleared his throat, his gaze landing directly on Diddy. The entire room seemed to lean forward. "Mr. Combs," the judge began, his voice steady and resonant, "this court recognizes your considerable influence, your long and storied career, and the contributions you have made over the years." He laughed. The words hang in the air for a moment. "However, the law does not bend for fame." Another pause, this one even more profound. The tension was almost unbearable. Given the gravity of the charges and the legitimate concerns raised by the state, this court finds that releasing you on bail at this time would jeopardize the integrity of the ongoing trial. Diddy blinked a slow, deliberate movement. His jaw tightened further. The courtroom collectively held its breath, waiting for the final, definitive word. "Bail is denied." The words hit the room like a shockwave. Gasps echoed off the wood-paneled walls. Diddy closed his eyes, just for a second. It wasn't a look of defeat, but rather one of a man steeling himself for what was to come. Attorney Marcus Hale leaned in close, whispering urgently into his ear, but Diddy didn't seem to register it. His focus was internal, his expression a mask of control, but you could almost feel the storm raging just beneath the surface. A deputy approached the defense table. The quiet clicks of handcuffs being secured around Diddy's wrists were shockingly loud in the silent room. That sound, more than anything else, cemented the reality of the situation. The man who was once defined by music videos, private jets, and global adoration was now being led through a simple metal door, toward a holding cell. The moment the door closed, chaos erupted. Reporters scrambled from their seats, pushing and shoving as they raced to be the first to break the headline. Outside, the news was met with a mix of reactions. Supporters cried out in disbelief and anger. Critics cheered, their vindication palpable. And inside, Judge Harrison, unmoved by the storm he had just unleashed, simply turned his attention to the next case on his docket. As if he hadn't just delivered the most significant legal ruling of the year, as Sean Diddy Combs disappeared behind that cold steel door. One thing became crystal clear to everyone watching, both inside and outside the courtroom. This was no longer just another celebrity scandal. This was a turning point. A landmark case that would capture the attention of the entire world. And its outcome would have repercussions far beyond the world of music and entertainment. The next chapter had just begun. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown interesting, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world. We'll be following this case every step of the way. See you in the next one.